and have a closer look. It's on all the front pages. Kensington Palace shared this tweet with a picture of the Princess of Wales and her 3 children to mark Mother's Day. There we go. We're told it was taken by Prince William at Windsor this week, and it's the first we've seen of Kate since her abdominal surgery in January. That's why it's so important. Since it was shared, though, there have been all kinds of questions raised. And we had then this, and this is quite a big development, really. This is AP, one of the most respected photo agencies, but along with Getty Images and PA, they put out a kill notice. Kill the photo. Look at that. This is the actual word kill here. Take a look, take a look. So, yeah, kill it. And they say the source, they think, has manipulated the image. The source, of course, is the royal family, Kensington Palace. So what do they mean? Why do they come to that conclusion? Just have a look, and we'll show you the image and exactly what's going on. And actually, it's funny, when you look at it, I saw it at the weekend for the first time, didn't even think that it didn't stack up. But of course, people put their microscopes on stuff now. So the first thing they came to is Charlotte's sleeve. So I'm going to put a box around because there's quite a lot of strange things going on here. First of all, this area here has a blur which suggests that someone's taken a bit of sleeve out. But also this bit here is a gap. There should be green. You should see green there, but you've somehow cloned some of the skirt and put it there. Doesn't make any sense. So then we have, talking of her skirt, this is a problem because that shouldn't, it seems like her skirt projects outwards from her body. People are saying that isn't right. I'm going to show you, if I can, just Kate's zip line here. So you follow the zip there, and it then shows up there. And again, you've got all these Inspector Clouseaus on social media who say that zip is unnatural. So then we move over to the other side, all right? We're going to have a look at Louis's jumper. This is the more subtle one. I don't necessarily get this, but all of these hearts you can see here, all S shapes, are all very clearly defined. And then you get to this one here where something's happened to the top. That's blurred. In fact, actually, you can see it much more clearly now. Around there, there's a blurring that suggests some material's being cloned or moved from another part of the picture. That, as I say, is the most subtle one of them all. This is the most obvious one. What on earth is going on with Louis's fingers? Someone's lost, not only have they lost part of his finger, but there is just there the remnant of a sort of an isolated speck of finger has shown up. So what else? Oh, there's a step. Oh, yeah, this one here. This is the last one for you, okay? In the background, a step. It's the way the line of the step should be like that, straight. And here you can see it starts there and then it continues there. So something's gone on there. And I suppose just thinking about this, oh yeah, one more. So, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, she's not wearing her rings. I mean, okay, Peter, here we are. Let's just think about one possible answer to this is that they took 7 photos and they put the best bits of the photos together. How about that?
Quite possibly, but I mean, yesterday morning, Mother's Day, I saw the picture, didn't dwell on it for too long, thought that's lovely, mother and kids, and then, of course, shock horror, because I saw Louis's hand. Now, that is a secret signal. I am Deputy Chief Poobah of a secretive sect.
You're doing it. You see, there we are. That's just your hand.
No, it's a signal. We are a
signal,
very secretive sect. We do a lot of charity work, but we also do dreadful things to our enemies. And Louis was the latest inductee, and now it's given the game away.
No, but I think, look, I can now do it. Let me try and do this now. So actually, when I do it...
But you're not a member, Jeremy. You're not allowed to do that.
I'm not, but it just shows that could be a natural... Jess, what do you think? That's just... Look, I've made my own hand look photoshopped there.
I think his hand is actually like the least suspicious thing. I think it is just kids being weird with their hands. I think there's so many other things that is dodgy about that picture that show that it's been edited. So much of it is sharp on one side, blurry on the other. Like Kate's hand is really sharp, then it's blurry here, her hair's sharp there, blurry there. It doesn't make sense.
It's one thing I would say is that these agencies, Getty, PA, etc., AP, they hate the royals taking their own photos. They hate it. And it started with Meghan, and I'm sure that's part of the reason the press had it in for Meghan as well. So here they got a chance to properly do them over because they're given, here's our photo, will you print it? And they say, no. And next time, the royals will have to bring in a professional photographer, which is what the agencies want. So it may be that they've deliberately stitched them up like kippers here. but don't put out a fake photo. I mean, it just seems crazy, Peter.
There's no need to Photoshop anything, is there, in this day and age? Because you will get rumbled in the digital age. If you try and fake or forge or alter anything, you're going to get rumbled.
Does it matter? Because when you say no need to, when I take a photo, I press auto and it makes the sky look a bit bluer. Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, it's just daft, isn't it? Because
Don't
it's not
do it. Oh, right.
representation of what you've taken a picture of.
So you don't do any auto on your photo?
Oh, I do a bit of auto, yeah, definitely.
I've done auto.
I think every magazine, every online do auto, but I think what is strange about this situation with the royal family is there's so many conspiracy theories online. Obviously, we haven't seen an image of Kate since December, and now all of a sudden we're getting given this. I mean, it's kind of fueling people's concerns and conspiracies online. Like,
Let's get them to.
So what? I'm the only witness of truth on this show today. You two are both forgers. You change things, you alter things.
Well, it's a simple button. Okay, let's just go through it again. So we've got the gap that isn't, the blur there. We've got the lack of an engagement ring on the hand there. We've got over here the skirt that projects, which shouldn't. We've got the dodgy pattern there. We've got the strange finger, and we've got the step which is the worst one, Peter?
Giving away our sect. That's the unforgivable thing.
Anne is in Merseyside. Anne, what do you think?
I think they should leave the
Leave what?
photograph. Leave them alone. It's a photograph. Every channel this morning, it's headline news, and it's being dissected. We've got hundreds of thousands of children dying in Gaza. We've got homeless people starving to death here. We've got pensioners who don't even put their heating on because they can't afford to pay for it.
Okay, I appreciate there are bigger stories, but here's the thing. Kate is a big story. She's unwell. She's been out of the public eye since December.
Why are they persecuting her? Why aren't they leaving her alone?
It's a first glimpse of her.
Personally, I suspect, it doesn't matter, I suspect she may have had a hysterectomy.
Well,
it would be all over the news.
Well, yeah, we're trying not to speculate on that, Anne, as it happens. But I'm just saying...
I know, it's a threat. The photograph is not a threat to the country.
All right, your line's going. Thank you, Anne. Sorry, your line is iffy. Thank you so much. This is why it's important. We haven't seen her since December. This is the first time we've seen her. She looks so well and radiant, and the family do, and it's a Mother's Day photo. And then it turns out to be faked. Is there anything else in here that's faked that wasn't in the photo? After the break, we'll take more calls on this. What do you make of it? Is it damaging to the royal family's reputation, or is it just a harmless family photo and all of us fake our photos? Oh, except Peter. 0207 862 2222 is the number. First, what do you make of the Princess of Wales' latest family photo? Has it been edited? Well, yes, it has, clearly. If it has been, does it matter? We're taking your calls on this. Don't we all edit our photos? Isn't that the point? We showed you before the break all the ways that people are saying the photo of Kate and her children have been edited. I just want to show you this, right, just so that we don't sound like we're blaming them here. Because I'm the family photographer for my family. I'm the mug who has to take the pictures. So I'm the guy who takes the pictures, flash, like that. And we were out the other day visiting our eldest daughter who's at university. There she is, Martha. And these are her friends, Alex and Isaac and Bissy and Hattie, and that's my other daughter, Anna, and there's my wife, okay? So I'm the guy who took the photos. So I took that one, and I took that one, and that one, and I'm clicking away here, and I finally find one I really like, which is that one there. And I look at it on my phone, I think, well, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but there's a problem. And the problem is, I'm not in it, which is quite a big problem, really, not least for me. So I then say to my wife, look, take a picture of me. There we are, that one and that one. And then I take this picture of me with my other daughter, Anna, and I isolate my figure in it. And down the bottom of the screen here, you'll see remove background. This is insanely quick now with these AI and all that. And I color out with a wand, Anna. And then I just move my image to the right, okay? And I bring back the original, and I whack it on there, right? There we go, job done. So there's only two problems with this. Two problems. Number one is it didn't happen. This is fake. And the second one is that if you're not good at it, sometimes it goes wrong. So you end up with something like this, right? And arguably, that's what's happened to Kensington. That's what Williams, I don't know if William's been doing it, but Peter, you object to that whole process.
I'm never going to accept a £20 note off of you under any circumstances. Say you say, "Oh, Peter, go to the bar, buy a drink." No way am I doing it with a £20 note off you, because I'll be looking up to check whether it's snide or not. You're a fraud.
Well, you've got to answer on my behalf, Jess.
I think everyone has a little tweak these days, you know?
That's more than
but
a
not
tweak,
to that
though.
level. Well, yeah, that is a little more
But
than
I
a
want to
tweak.
put myself in the photo, so but maybe...
So find somebody
To take
and
it.
ask them to
They'll
take
mess
the
it up.
photograph, and then it's genuine, and then it's a genuine, joyous memory of that lovely afternoon in Cambridge.
What happens, though, when you get the best photo and one person's got their eyes closed?
Oh,
You replace their face.
How deep does the vanity run?
You would replace their face, wouldn't you, Jess?
I just take another picture.
Well, no, but
Yeah,
if you've got
take
5 photos, you can just move their face across.
Oh, I don't know. I don't go to that level, though.
Well, then you can take the mickey out of them for years to come because they blinked at the wrong time.
Let's go to Robert in Northumberland. You are a photographer, Robert.
Yes, good morning. I'm an agricultural photographer.
Well, that's great. And I mean, I'm assuming you will hate all this manipulation stuff.
No, we enhance images all the time. We don't alter the structure of the images, but if a leg's in the wrong place and a leg needs moving forward, we'll alter the image.
Well,
What
that is the
concerns
structure.
me-
What do you mean
Well,
if a leg is in the wrong place? How could someone's leg...
Well, when you're taking a picture of a sheep or a cow or whatever, you want to see 4 legs. You don't want one leg hidden behind the other. So you can move a leg, but don't alter the shape of the body to make it look as though it's a better animal than what it should be or it shouldn't be.
No, I hear you, but I'm not sure moving cows' legs. I'm not sure. Let me just Robert, stay there. Come
But
over here with
can I
me.
just say,
Go on.
regarding this image, right?
Yes.
This image, the problem is that people have seen this image, they've seen it's been altered, and they are concerned what else could have been altered.
Exactly.
Now, to my way of looking at this image,
Yeah.
one of the initial problems is the size of the people involved in the image. The size of the children compared to the size of Kate
Yeah,
looks
you're
totally
right.
wrong.
Charlotte is the same size as Kate.
Yes.
What, do you think she's been Well, I missed that completely. That's the most obvious thing now you mention it. Do you think she's been transposed from another photo?
Well, do we? Could she? You know, that's the problem. Is it raises suspicion.
Well, I was going to say, Robert, the other thing is, I hesitate to say this, but now we're going to start to say, okay, well, was Kate part of this photo, or has that been moved?
Exactly.
Has that been moved in from 2 years ago?
I mean, the ratio of the people involved in the image is totally wrong. The light, the shadows, the contrast of the people involved in the picture is totally wrong. If you look at the light on the children's faces compared to the light on Kate's face, it's totally wrong.
Well, you're right. And now you've mentioned, yeah, you're right, but then Charlotte would be shading Kate, but this here, that line of hair is way too straight. Something has happened just down there.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to think maybe they were never even together for this. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. Go on.
That's the problem with the fact that the image has been photoshopped. It raises suspicion as to how much Photoshop has been involved.
In fairness, if I was George, young man, sense of humour. No, hang on, this is Louis. If I was Louis, got a sense of humour, right? I had at that age, I would deliberately make my hand into a shape that looks like it's been photoshopped because you know the whole world's going to go mad about it. So I think he's been practicing that. Thank you, Robert. This reminds me of when I was on Strictly and they take a photo of everyone and there were 15 celebs, right? And the photo comes out, I think it's amazing. We're all the same height. And what happened was I had been clearly proportioned down to being roughly the same height as Kelly Bright, who's a foot shorter than me. And I think, well, fair dues, they want to fit it in a frame. Marion in Glasgow, do you smell a fish here or whatever what is the phrase? Smell a rat?
No, I think it's
Or
a
a fish.
scandal, Jeremy.
A scandal?
I think it's a scandal, yeah. I think having a photograph like that, as I said about looking at the picture, all I've looked at, and I didn't notice Kate didn't have her rings on. I didn't notice anything wrong with the sleeve. And the fact that chap that was on there just now and saying to you, about it's a conspiracy. I think that's ridiculous, a grown man coming out with words like that over a photograph of a lovely family. The thing is, Kate not having her rings on, to me there's no problem with that. It told you away at the start of the year that Kate was going in for a planned surgery.
Yeah.
I think she may have had her surgery, and they told us that she would be in hospital for 2 weeks and then she would be recuperating till after Easter. We wouldn't be seeing her out and about at any functions, etc. that she would be going
yes,
to.
exactly. Yeah.
Now, but showing you a photograph like that with her not having her wedding rings on, I don't think there's anything suspicious about it. It could be she's maybe lost a bit of weight and the rings can't fit her.
I wasn't sure. Well, I wasn't sure about the rings being an issue until I looked at that hand and the clarity and sharpness of it versus that hand there. If you have a look at that, that's strange as well. Marion, thank you very much indeed. I'm now.
Okay.
Thank you. Go on.
Okay.
Bless you. Thank you.
Well, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
My brother was able to put a picture of myself and my 4 daughters, because he knows what to do that way, and he put a picture of my 4 daughters and myself with a photograph of my mum, who wasn't even here. She was through in Houston, outside Glasgow.
Yeah.
And he sorted a picture that we were all together.
Yeah.
So
all right, thank you, Marion. That is the thing. I'm sorry to go on about this, but if you look at the lower half of Kate here, and you look at the hip to head, there's something about the proportions there that doesn't stack up either. I'm beginning to doubt the whole photo. Let's speak to the royal commentator, Emily Andrews, on this. Emily, what a mess.
Absolutely, Jeremy. What a complete mess. And as you've just, demonstrated over the last 10 minutes, this photo is going to be picked apart ad infinitum, probably for the rest of this week. And actually, for me, there's 2 things here. One, this is a bit of a major comms disaster for Kensington Palace. 3 major photo agencies pulling this picture, us all discussing it. But also, the more important thing is, can we ever trust anything that the palace can ever tell us again? If we can't even trust a photograph, how can we trust that what they're telling us, and don't forget these comms professionals are taxpayer funded, how can we ever trust what they tell us is true? I think to put this in the wider context, just to give a bit more of a kind of explanation, this goes back to actually Prince William. He is so protective of his family's privacy. He's just like Harry, actually. He just shows it in a different way, and it goes back to his mother and the experiences of their childhood. And when he married Kate, he promised his dad that he would look after her, and that basically meant look after her from the press and the public. She goes into hospital, she has this operation, it's all kept, none of us knew about it, as it should be. IPSO code, Article 2, privacy, mental health and physical health are protected very, very strongly in the editor's code of conduct, which covers newspapers and television. And then obviously Kensington Palace announced that she's had this operation and that we're not going to see her until after Easter. And then they think, okay, great. Actually, it was, in my opinion, Prince William's decision to pull out of, if viewers might remember, he pulled out of a sort of royal/family occasion. It was the memorial service for his godfather, King Constantine. He pulled out that, only citing a personal matter, wouldn't give any other information. He viewed it as totally private, so he wouldn't say what the problem was. And that set the hairs running on social media. Commentators, everyone started saying, well, is it about Catherine? Is she okay? And of course, there was that difference between Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace, how they dealt with the health of their 2 major principals. Charles, despite having treatment for cancer, is pictured, looking at his get well cards, videos are released, pictures are released, nothing in comparison on Kate. And the vacuum has been filled.
Thank you very much, Emily Andrews. After the break, we're taking more of your calls. Is it wrong for Kensington Palace to have shared the photo of Kate and her children that appears to have been edited badly as well? 0207 862 2222. Loads of calls. We'll take them in just a moment. But let's have more calls on this photo of Kate and her children, which you can see in front of me. We've gone through so many edits, we're losing track of them. 0207 862 2222. And it may not matter, but let's have a look at the original tweet that Kensington Palace put out. It's signed off with a C, which suggests the tweet was written by Catherine. Here it is, and the photo is credited to the Prince of Wales. Thank you for your kind wishes and continued support over the last 2 months. Wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day. And then, of course, people have been over this with a fine-tooth comb. Sarah in Northamptonshire, it has been edited, but does it matter?
Good morning, Jeremy. It's Sarah.
But Sarah, I'm sorry, yeah.
No, that's no problem. Since yesterday, I look at the bigger picture. I never look at what's right in front of my eyes, okay? I look outside. some horticulturalist needs to let me know, what's that tree in the background? Because my trees haven't got any leaves on in the garden like
let's
that.
see the picture. Yeah. Well, okay.
It's very, very green.
It could be an evergreen. It could be, but you think if that's a deciduous tree, we've got another issue there.
Because I don't know what it is, I'm looking at the tree, because I'm not really a gardener. I've got a few little trees in the garden, and I'm like, well, they look very fresh.
Well, I'm
Like
now
it was
worried about that.
taken-
I'm starting to believe that nothing in the photo's real. I mean,
No.
was Kate imported into it from another photo? That's the question.
I don't know. I just think it looks like it was taken not last week. And I thought, well, that looks very green, and the grass looks very green. And then I looked at the window and saw the reflection, and I was like, oh, dear, I can see lots of stuff that wasn't happening last week going on.
No, but does it matter? Does it matter?
What matter?
Does what you're saying matter, Sarah?
Well, yes, it does, because otherwise they're telling fibs, and I was brought up not to tell lies. Just be honest with the public. That's what I want.
But what about my
Just be
example of
honest
where
with
I put... Now, I'm feeling bad about this now because Peter's been on to me, but where I put myself into a family photo because I was upset to be out of it.
Well, you're Jeremy Vine. You're not the Royals, are you?
What? Yeah, it's true.
Not being
That doesn't
mixed,
matter.
but it's not that
No, it's a good point, Sarah. I've got... No one cares what I do. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Sarah.
Goodbye.
Bye. Wonderful. I always say, it's because of Sarah Cox, I always say Sarah for Sarah now, because it's gone into my head. S-A-R-A. Yvonne in Derbyshire, hi.
Good morning, Jeremy.
What do you think? Someone needs a bit of training on the old Photoshop, don't they, I think?
It's more than that. It's the royal family. And millions of taxpayers now and in the past and in the future will be paying this family for information, as the media does, etc., etc. This photograph will have caused more damage to them than if they'd have just been honest, put some flowers on there, shown a picture of the children in the garden, etc., etc. I really believe this has caused more damage to the royal family. And if William wants privacy, why didn't he back his brother that was fighting the press for privacy and media hype? Why didn't he join in?
Well, they always say never pick an argument with someone who buys their ink by the gallon. And I think he probably took that advice.
I agree with you on that, but I used to teach history of photography.
Oh,
the camera
right.
does lie. The camera does lie now. We've all got that ability, but this is the royal family.
Is bad.
It is not any ordinary family.
Yeah. Well, have a look at my photo here, Yvonne. You see, is there anything wrong with that?
Hold on, I can't see it. On my screen, I'm looking at you.
There we are. Should come up now. How's that?
A 4. There's quite a few flaws in it, but I wouldn't do it now because I'm so poor at it.
Because I put myself, it's a family photo, and I stuck myself on the end. And Peter's saying he's never gonna trust me again.
The thing is, and that's it, if you are rewriting history, so it's a fake history, so it's a false history, you are really, people say there's nothing credible anymore about what you show, so therefore they are suspicious of what you show.
I hear you, Yvonne, I hear you. But then, wasn't it, what was the fair, do you remember the first faked photo was some fairies?
No.
Do you remember that, Yvonne?
Just finished your career. She said there's no credibility about what you do.
Yeah, I know.
If you Photoshop.
It's gone. It's over. Go on, Jess, you understand what I did. You understand. And actually, Jess, maybe you sort of understand what Kate and William have done. Assuming that they were all sitting together and she was smiling, what's the harm in it?
I think, I agree with Yvonne in terms that it isn't just the everyday person taking a picture and editing it for like our social media on Instagram. This is an image that gets put out of the royal family. The first we've seen of Kate since December. There's been so many escalations going around, rumours going around. Obviously, there was a packed photo of Kate that the UK press didn't print last week, looking very different to that. Were they the same person? I don't know.
Yeah, well, yes, true.
Photoshop. Don't Photoshop. Don't make yourself look like you don't actually look. Take the picture, put it out there. Don't put yourself in it if you weren't there. Don't add filters and all that kind of game. Just be honest. Take a photo, pop it out there if you want.
The first fake photo,
Uncomplicated.
I think it was probably 100 years ago, and I think it was Cottingley Fairies, and it was the most basic thing. 3 dancing girls superimposed on a picture of a flower, made to look really small. And someone said, oh my goodness, I took a picture of a flower, and when the picture came out, there were 3 fairies. And half the world believed it. Because in those days, the camera didn't lie. So we'll probably get a photo and we'll show you. Terry in Herefordshire, is this serious, Terry, this photo thing?
Yes. I think, can you hear me? It's
very much so.
I believe. Hello?
Hello, Terry, yeah, you're on loud and clear.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is AI is extremely dangerous in the future. It could start the Third World War, that sort of thing. It's really disgusting. But
the trouble is, if you question everything, you start to wonder if Kate was even there.
Absolutely, you can't even believe your own picture now. It's so serious. However, I would come on to say that back in the 1950s, the Queen had a picture on every newspaper every day. So one authentic picture would solve the problem, really.
Okay, Terry, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Faking. We got a picture of, I think, was it the Queen? The producer said. Let's have a look. The Mother's Day picture. Here we go. So this, wishing all mothers and those who are missing their mums today a peaceful Mothering Sunday. Now that is a photo taken from the days when you didn't fake them, and that would have been something joyful about knowing no one's put a filter on that.
They could have filtered that now.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't. They don't filter. You can't filter black and white. So it's a little known thing.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Come on, you're not seriously saying that's filtered. No, it's not. Ruth in Lincolnshire, is it serious what's happened with this photo?
Hello, Jeremy.
Hi.
Yes, it is. And for the simple reason, the whole country hasn't seen Kate since Christmas Day.
No.
And if this was supposed to say, look, I'm fine, please give me time to recuperate, it's done the absolute opposite because the photograph has been picked apart. And if we can't trust William to give us an honest image of his wife and family, then should we be trusting them at all?
Thank you, Ruth, very much indeed. Thank you so much. And they're going to have to bring in a professional photographer next time, basically. Oh, Cottingley Fairies, you want to see this from 1920 or something? So there's the girl, and then but they were basically almost card figures. They superimposed, and everyone fell for it. It doesn't look at all real now. Later, we'll be asking if you'd like the NHS to provide health checks for men in local pubs and sports grounds. After the break, should the Prime Minister slash the amount spent on welfare benefits? 0207 862 2222. See you in a moment.